Bless up, bless down. I'm Mastermind Statements, how I manifested a $20,000 movie camera, otherwise known as a cinema camera. Let's go. So when I was 12 years old, I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be a cinematographer. And at that time, the best way I could do it was to buy a Sony Handicam. This Sony Handicam right here. This is old school right here. Back in the day, you would have the cassette tapes, and this is how you did it. Everybody's familiar with this type of camera right here, unless you're like super young, right? So my pops, he told me, he was like, you know, if you want to get this camera, you need to start a business. And so what I did was I started a lawn cutting service back in England. So at that time he was in the military and we were on Lake Kenneth Air Force Base. And so he said, you know, you got to start your own business. So I made some flyers, knocked on people's doors, went past them out, and eventually I got some business. And the lawnmower that I had was not the gas lawnmower. So it was the one that you push. It's like a push lawnmower. So it was like just all momentum and just blades. When the wheel spun, the grass cut. So this is like, you know, it wasn't something that was easy. And pretty much the blades were a little bit rusty too. It wasn't like a perfect cutting grass cutter. I wouldn't even call it a lawnmower, grass cutter. But that summer I was able to save up $300. So I'm going to tell you how I manifested this. So I had that determination, and what I did was I went to the base catalog. So at that time they called it the BX, the base exchange. And so they'd always have like around, you know, I guess summertime and during that Christmas time frame, a huge catalog of what you can go buy at the base exchange. And so I went through there and I circled all the video cameras that I wanted. And in my mind at age 12, I told myself I was going to get a video camera at some point, no matter what. I truly believed it. I looked in that magazine catalog pretty much every day, and I just kept on just daydreaming and just getting that vision of what I wanted. Kept on letting my mind just go crazy and kept on, imagining myself with the camera, holding that camera. You know, you got to imagine when you manifest, you got to imagine yourself zooming in, zooming out. You got to imagine looking in that viewfinder. You got to imagine yourself behind that camera. And so as a 12-year-old kid, I was already practicing the principles of manifestation and didn't even know it. So I was only able to save about $300 that entire summer. Later on, Christmas rolls around, opening up all my presents. I got through all of them. The last package, huge package, taking the wrapping paper off. There it was, a Sony Handicam box. I got the camera. My pops ended up putting another $300 with it, and he surprised me. He said, you know what's called delayed gratification. He said, since you decided to start your own business and put forth some effort and passion behind it, I decided to go ahead and put the other $300 with it and get you this camera. That changed my life forever. It got to the point to where I ended up filming John Legend and a bunch of other celebrities just because of this small investment that ended up being a huge investment in my life. But guess what? They say faith without works is dead. As a 12-year-old, I put action into buying a camera. Even though I felt short, the blessing was my dad came and picked up the other part of that tab and paid for that camera. First time I got paid, I think I was about 13. A lady at church ended up asking me to film the Christmas services for the bass choir, which is pretty huge, and she paid me. You've got to understand, faith without works is dead. That's what the ancient scriptures say. You have to believe and you have to put some action behind it. 12 years old, buying a camera, something that adults buy for their families. This pretty much changed my life. It so happened that as time went on, I decided I wanted to get into the big league and actually buy a real movie camera, the ones that Hollywood uses. Movies that you see in the movie theater, ones that you see on Netflix and so on and so forth. That camera, just to buy what you call the brain. The brain is just the middle part of the camera. So this is an old school camera, but the brain on the real movie cameras is just literally just like a little square. And so this is called a red camera, R-E-D, red camera. So you can go to www.red.com and see how expensive these cameras are. And so for me to buy just the brain at that time, the brain was $6,500. And I knew I had to manifest that because I wanted to pay cash. Didn't want to put that on a credit card. I just wanted to pay straight cash. And so I had that what do you call it? That spiritual download that said, get on eBay and buy just a secondhand brain case. And this is what it looks like. So this is the case for just the brain of the camera. And so this is the size of the brain. The brain sits right here. No lens, nothing, no handles, no viewfinder, just the brain. I literally bought this case right here on eBay for about $75 because I knew I had to manifest it. I put this case by the edge of my bed, and every morning I got up, I took a look at it. Every night I took a look at it, and I believed that the red camera was inside that case. There was nothing that was going to persuade me that I wasn't going to get a red camera. I told myself day and night throughout the day, this is the camera that I'm going to get. I even made it a screensaver on my phone, the red camera. I wanted to make sure that I felt like I already had the red camera. So I started using those. I came with the knowledge that the same principles that I used to get this camera, visualization, they had to be used again. And so what I did was I had an unwavering belief as if I already had the red camera. Happened in the summer again. Next thing you know, I started getting so much money out of the middle of nowhere that I was able to manifest the red camera. And this is the brain right here, just this center part. This is the lens. This is the monitor. But I manifested the brain. Manifested this brain right here. This is it. $6,500 just for the brain. $6,500. It's a lot of money just for the brain. But I had an unwavering belief. And see, most people wouldn't understand the principle of buying something ahead of time. I literally bought this case that was secondhand with no brain in it, set it by my bed, and believed that I had a red camera. You've got to be thankful as if it's already done, whatever you desire, with the emotion of gladness. Never judge the circumstance, and never beg. I never worried about how much the camera cost. I never worried about where the money would come from. The money just literally came up out of the middle of nowhere because I believed. It's like somebody wanting a car. If you want a Mercedes, get on eBay, buy a secondhand key, keep it in your purse, keep it in your pocket, keep it somewhere where you can see it every single day, and I can guarantee you, subconsciously, you're going to start to move in that direction. Faith without works is dead, to get that Mercedes. The next thing you know, one day you'll have that Mercedes. The way I manifested my first Mercedes was I bought a gold chain. Actually, not even a gold chain, but a gold Figaro necklace, 14 karat from JCPenney. Just so happened that I was able to buy an authentic Mercedes gold custom pendant to go around the chain. Wore it on my neck. At the time I was driving a Mazda. Had a taxi company, a taxi hit me as I went through the green light from a red light. T-boned me, hit me. And that's the first time that I realized that something adverse can turn into something great for you because you prayed for it and you manifested it. That right there was my check to get my first Mercedes. So I am a big supporter and believer that you've got to have something tangible, an image, a picture, something physical, something around your neck, a key. You need to have something that is going to get you in the mindset, and also the mindset of faith and trust. No one goes out and spends $75 on something not believing that they're not going to actually have it filled up with the actual camera that costs way more, $6,500. That's just the base. See, the lens was another $4,000. I have 2 lenses. So all these accessories start to add up. That's how we got to $20,000. All manifested. You've got to understand that you can literally get thoughts with your prayers and manifest them using the same blueprint. Be thankful as if it's already done with the emotion of gladness. Never judge the circumstance and never beg. You could have anything that you want on this earth. It's as simple as that. Bless up, bless down on Mastermind Statements. Fly a kite. Be free. Keep winning. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button. Drop your comments. If you have any experience with manifestation, if you even want to have any questions about manifestation, if you have any questions about manifestation, drop that down, because it's so powerful that I don't ask for everything. That's how powerful it is. It's super powerful. Fly a kite, be free, keep winning.